the one thing that I don't think people keep thinking about, which I am obsessed with thinking about, is 1 in 5 people by the year 2030 are going to be 65 or older.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was the Consensus Bureau that I saw from a year ago.
Holy cow.
So we want to look at what we can do when it comes to better quality of life using today's technology, using blockchain, using the AI tools. So, and I mean, and we're not even talking different monetary systems and all of that,
Yeah.
for being able to be empowered with your finances.
Welcome to Only the Savvy, where we explore the cutting edge of technology and innovation. I'm your host, Nicole, and today we have a special guest, Sandra Abrams. Sandra is a visionary entrepreneur and the founder of Onboard 60, a platform dedicated to simplifying the onboarding process in the Web3 space. An advocate for innovation, learning, Sandra brings a unique perspective on how technology can empower individuals, organizations, and lives. Let's dive into her journey and insights. Sandra, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey into the tech industry? And thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me. I feel so honored. I mean, only the savvy. I mean, it's a huge thing for me. So I really appreciate it.
No.
Um, I'm 64 years old. I'm a senior citizen, and I didn't want to get left behind. And knowing nothing, being brought up in the 70s, computers started coming up, being afraid of them then. So my limited knowledge and skills of computers and tech overall, I thought it's time for me to learn. So it started out that I wanted to stay a part of society.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that with all this evolving tech. So, what inspired you to create Onboard 60?
A little embarrassing. As I said, senior citizen, I live in South Florida, and we all go to Publix, the grocery store, on Sunday. All the senior citizens, if you want to find one, we're going to be at the grocery store on Sunday. I have been learning a little bit about how to put smart contracts on chain, healthcare, HOA, trust funds, IRAs, different things that would be useful for senior citizens to help when it comes to not being scammed, being in control of your finances, and I can go on. That's Sunday. And I was learning about it for myself, okay? And thinking that, this is really amazing stuff. Going down the aisles of the grocery store, walking past each senior citizen, I'm thinking they need to know this stuff. Oh my God, you know, they don't need to get left behind. They're going to get set aside willingly because they choose not to learn any of this. So it was in the grocery store. I thought, I need to figure something out. And I went home and I did a TikTok and said, I need to figure out how to do this. What do I do? I mean, they need to learn this stuff. And somebody said, you need to do it. And I said, huh? And so I started.
Wow, what a unique story on how Onboard 60 was created and what inspired it. How does Onboard 60 differ from other platforms in the Web3 space?
I've experienced everything. I've experienced not understanding, embarrassing to say, how to copy and paste. I can remember not being able to use Google Drive, not being able to go even a step further, kids, grandkids on Roblox, the virtual reality metaverse, the glasses, everything is now. Not being able to do simple 4 keys on my computer to walk around in the metaverse. Uh, I wanted to be able to relate to my great niece who's 12 years old. I want to understand. So it was experience, had to go through the experience of doing it.
It's amazing to hear. And do you guys have that connection now with Roblox that you're able to converse?
There's a game that she can play, and it's like you go up, you walk up these planks to go to different things, and I keep falling off, so she doesn't want to play with me anymore.
That is too funny. Can you share any pivotal moments in your career that led you to focus on blockchain technology?
Yeah. Um, I think basically back in 2016, I learned a little bit about Bitcoin. And then I started looking at it a little bit, but then I just said, that's nice, you know. And then I got a book of the book of Satoshi, and it talked about Bitcoin and blockchain. And I read, and it was very simple for me to read, and the safety and how it really is something that nobody can um, alter when it comes to documents for seniors. You know, I mean, I kept going back to what the similarities, and then understanding how blockchain does things with logistics and all this other stuff. So I was so intrigued, and I had to know. So I just kept diving.
Unbelievable to hear. Did you face any challenges while transitioning into the Web3 environment?
Every day is a challenge. I am winging it. I'm 64. There are times just the step-by-step instructions on how to do something. I have to Google that instruction. What does that word mean? You know, I have to use Perplexity AI,
Yeah.
take these instructions and simplify them for me. The challenges, I think, are daily for anybody, and especially because of the world that we're in with this tech and trying to move forward.
Do you have
But yeah,
any
I
yeah.
wing it.
Do you have any suggestions for anyone who might be struggling looking at Web3 and maybe any tips on how to overcome them?
Sure. Start with 5 minutes a day. Don't overwhelm yourself. I actually, I started with 5 minutes of vocabulary a day. That was it. Because I didn't understand the words coming out of people's mouths. That started the anxiety and the stress because it was a different language. I call it Klingon, you call it Web3. And so basically, take care of yourself, be gentle with yourself, and do it slowly. Take it easy. And very importantly, get somebody that you can trust, that you can ask what you think are ridiculous questions. But you and I know those questions are very relevant. Have
Absolutely.
like a mentor or just somebody that you can trust.
Absolutely. And that's great advice too, to provide to anyone seeking any type of help in this space. So Onboard 60 aims to simplify Web3 onboarding. Can you walk us through how it works?
Sure. I being myself solo, I am on board 60. I provide the services from the curriculum that I have learned, from the connections that I have. The services include um, digital downloads, ebooks to learn about blockchain technology, different people to go to, different schools that are online that I can connect you with. Um, it comes also to counseling to help get through the being overwhelmed when you're pivoting to this kind of space. Having me, somebody you can go to and go, look, oh my God, this just happened. And I go, I know, let's talk about it because it's weird. It's crazy.
It is.
Uh, Also, being able to have two spaces a week on Twitter. The first one is on Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's called Get Ready with Me or Get Right with Monday. It's for people who really want to look back at their last week and focus with their next week ahead, their goals, whether it's the emotional, mental, or actually the tasks that you need to have done, and understanding maybe I need to go to somebody needs to understand and go to a particular space to learn something, or somebody needs to go to this seminar or webinar on LinkedIn, be able to help them that way. So that's the Monday. And Wednesday space, I do a spotlight interview with somebody who is either on Twitter or in the space of Web3 so people can connect and learn about that person and that area or what they're offering.
It's amazing to hear. I recently joined one of your spaces and it's extremely welcoming. And for anyone looking to find any information or interact with some friendly folks who are in the space, I highly recommend checking out Sandra's spaces on Mondays and Wednesdays for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Absolutely.
also offer digital downloads beyond that for people who do decide to come online, because as online is changing how you present yourself. So I've got the how to succeed in social media and social finance, because a lot of these platforms, even Twitter, I'm sorry, X,
X. Yep.
uh, they're putting in place a lot of monetization systems, and that is social finance. And
Oh,
how you present yourself is totally different than people have been. So being in a couple of beta programs the past 8 months, I signed some NDAs. So being able to do this digital download and specifics on how to do this with any social media or any social finance for 2025, I was able to
that's
get it.
really cool. That's
Uh,
really cool. So, how do you see Onboard 60 impacting the current adoption with blockchain technology?
well, I think people are understanding there is such thing as real world assets, being able to put your stocks on chain, being able to utilize different infrastructures on chain, and being able to take it from that view. People are able to be more comfortable and understand that you can actually, example, see your package on Amazon correctly, not through these apps that tell you that it's tracking and it's really
Yeah,
not there. You can actually see the company of Amazon can see exactly where every package for cost and logistic purposes. So being on chain business wise, just for those purposes, you have to look at different things that can be done on chain. It's mind boggling.
yeah, there's a lot that can be done on chain, and I feel like
I
every
mean,
day we're hearing
I can
new
talk security. We can talk security.
so
It's just,
many. So, what's been the most rewarding aspect of building Onboard 60 for you?
uh, I had an online school, or I call it an online study, or
Cool.
on a platform called Geneva for a year and a half. And um, I don't like to work with a lot of people because I like to give quality time and really help people one on one or small groups. And this online school was 30 to, well, it was 35 people, and it was fluctuating each session 30 to 35. But uh, the best feeling that I get from all of this is when they don't stay in the nucleus, they learn and they get empowered so they can move on and do their own thing and be a part of the whole ecosystem. And I see them every now and then and wave. Or they come to the spotlight and I get to spotlight them.
That's an unbelievable feeling to see someone coming to you and then seeing their success. I'm sure you've got some success stories you can share, right? Anyone who's benefited on board, can you share any of
I've got,
them?
can I share one? I'm not going to say
Yeah.
his name, but uh, I can say Alpha and I can say Wings without putting those together as a name.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you may find it on X. But he uh, from I don't know where in Europe, but it was even a language barrier, and he was a lot younger. I mean, really young person. And he came to my online study or, and we had session after session. And I'd go, well, why don't you go over and look at this white paper? Why don't we look at what's going on with, because he was really into wanting to learn about NFTs
Okay.
and community. And I said, let's look at this community. Let's talk about who are they, and he was big Discord. So I was like, let's go to their Discord. Let's, just
Check it out.
figure it out. So we did. And he found one called Drip House. And it ended up being such very successful project. And he's doing so well in the community.
Wow.
And I'm so grateful that I was just able to
Oh,
go, hey, let's go over here. Look at this.
yeah.
So it's really neat to see.
That is very neat to see. Very neat. Looking
Yeah.
ahead, is there any development in Web3 that you're most excited about?
I think people are moving more towards virtual XR, different kinds of realities, augmented realities. Uh, the digital world won't be as um, developer based. A lot of the things that we have experienced the first few years, I think, are going to be in the background.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be more uh, shopping virtually to Walmart. People are going to be doing things that because they're maybe physically aren't able to do, or they don't travel, or somebody is in a different area that they can't get somewhere. The idea of seeing your doctor virtually, being able,
Completely.
yeah, having a session with a lawyer. Um, I think healthcare is going to move more to the AI. The tech is very advanced. Also, being able having the wearables, the apps on the phone for preemptive and analyticals for healthcare. I think that's because the one thing that I don't think people keep thinking about, which I am obsessed with thinking about, is 1 in 5 people by the year 2030 are going to be 65 or older.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was the Consensus Bureau that I saw from a year ago.
Holy cow.
So we want to look at what we can do when it comes to better quality of life using today's technology, using blockchain, using the AI tools. So, and I mean, and we're not even talking different monetary systems and all of that,
Yeah.
for being able to be empowered with your finances. We haven't even,
There's a lot. There's a lot. It's just every day it's something new. I do have to ask though, with all of this involvement that you're in, technology, how do you balance innovation with user friendliness in your platform and in your everyday life?
well, on my platform, what I do is I keep things simple as possible, and I meet the person where they are, whatever level that they are in. Somebody did that with me. I'm not going to sit there and talk jargon that people aren't going to understand. I want people to feel as comfortable as possible. And what was the second part? Sorry.
And do you have any advice for anyone in the space that is looking to enter Web3?
Uh, First and foremost, uh, observe. If you're going to be on X, go to Spaces. If you're going to be on LinkedIn, go to some of the live sessions that people have. Um, Follow people that are what you're wanting to learn from. Follow, like if it's somebody that is the space of blockchain technology and learning as a developer on how to put information, how to build that, those are the people that you want to follow. If you're wanting to follow uh, how to do a podcast with Web3, things like that. So understand who you want to follow, what you want on your feed, what platform you want to be on, where you want to learn from. Or is there an academy online? Like I went to Ledger Academy. That was the one that I went through, which was amazing. And always have a vocabulary.
Yes, definitely got to learn the vocab. Definitely have to learn it. There's so much jargon in this space. So, what's next for Onboard 60? Any exciting features, partnerships in the horizon?
I have gone full circle, and now I am having to step back and evaluate my skill level when it comes to spatial, which is the metaverse. I created 3 virtual rooms, and I have to level up my skills on that platform. I have an art gallery, I have a office, and I have an auditorium. So I want to be able to have people come there for panels and speakers, and also to learn the simple uh, keys on your keyboard, how to walk, enter. So I want to upgrade that, learn the skills for that. I want to be able to do more things face to face in real life.
Yes,
Being in South Florida, uh, being able to let people understand that they are able, through the computer online, visit with their grandkids, maybe the grandkids in California. This is a way you can do it. Uh, I have other phases of Onboard 60 for the future, which involve real life um, assets, which involves being able to do property on chain,
nice.
things that are already happening, but I want to do exclusively within an Onboard 60 community. As in, it would be lovely to have a assisted senior living on chain.
Absolutely, it definitely would.
You would know the doctor. You would be able to review his care. You'd be able to see what happens every day with the nurses. You'd be able to, you know what I'm saying? I think that
Absolutely.
that would be that I don't know.
It would be unbelievable to have.
Yeah,
Unbelievable
maybe an active senior complex in the metaverse, and then also have one in
in
reality.
real life. No, that would
So,
be unbelievable. Well, Sandra, before we go off for our podcast here, we have like 5 minutes left for our viewers who want to learn more or get started with Onboard 60, learn more about you. Can you provide us your details, any information so that people can find you?
I would be glad to.
Thank you.
First, I am on quite a few social medias, uh, TikTok and X, formerly known as Twitter, Onboard 60. That's the handle on TikTok and on X. On LinkedIn, I am Sandra Abrams, my name. And I do have a landing page, a Stan store, which is www.stan.store/onboard60. I do one-on-one complimentary free discovery calls. So at least you can say, hey, maybe I need to do something, or thanks, I can move forward. I do uh, one-on-one counseling through the Stand Store Onboard 60. You can also get my behind the scenes, vulnerable, scary book of my first few years journal. It's called Web3 AI and the Metaverse. It's a year old, November 3rd. So it just turned.
Wow. Congratulations. 1 year anniversary.
So you can decide for yourself, reading the journals, if you even want to be a part of this. So there's a lot of different offerings, digital downloads there. Uh, That's about it. LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Stan Store.
Awesome. Well, we'll provide a lot of these details that you just shared in our description. So if anyone wants to seek for any information from Sandra, just click on that description button and you'll be there. Again, Sandra, thank you so much for sharing your insights and passion for Web3 technology. Your work with Onboard 60 is truly inspiring to our viewers. And remember to always stay savvy and keep exploring the frontier of innovation. Until next time, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share with anyone. Bye now.